cheaper rent and stuff, and then potentially, caravans and travel potentially is an
How
option.
exciting. Good idea.
Yeah.
Hit the road. It's a good time to head north.
So, here we go. Here we go. Rent and stuff, and then everyone's going to know. Everyone's going to know I'm a caravan man. Yeah, caravans. And potentially. There we go.
Good idea.
Who was that?
I'm echoing now.
Yeah, sorry, I got rid of it now. I just got that on silent.
Oh, good.
And I can just share that on Facebook, and then we're on. If anyone's
Are we
there,
on? Are we?
It's like 13 minutes late. How's your new house?
Oh my God, my new house is unbelievable. It's one of those things where I've realized manifesting actually works. It's taken.
Well, hold on. I think I need to be present for this conversation. So that's a good spot to start, and then we can.
All right, cool.
Whatever flows through from there. Let me just put that there. Yeah, because it looks awesome, your place.
Oh my God, it is seriously awesome. And and I don't know whether you do it, and you probably do it, but I'm a list writer, and I like to put stuff into stories and write it all down as I think about stuff, or automatic write sort of in the morning when I wake up, and just write down whatever comes. And yeah, just everything that I've written down, this house has it. Like I can't really fault it for anything. And we're stuck here at home, and there's an office for Ben to work out of. I've got my own studio right at the back of the place where it's nice and quiet, and the kids are anywhere in between, and there's a pool.
Wow.
And we've come from, my little cubby house, which we thought we would. No, it's a lovely little cubby house, but we seriously didn't think we'd ever leave.
Yeah, right. Cool.
That was, we were, you have that lack mindset, that kind of thing. Both Ben and I were just stuck in that lack mindset, and also stuck in a mindset of there's only one way of something being able to happen.
Yep.
And just what I do. So I am a Reiki teacher, and I like to.
I was going to say, you better tell us, because other may not know. We've got Shane and Tracy watching live on YouTube.
Hi Shane, hi Tracy. So for me, I teach Reiki and have done for 7 years, and I've been doing meditation as well. I've been doing that for the last 5 years, and running classes and stuff. And everything that I kind of talk about in those groups is what I also live. I try and practice what I preach, because I think there's no point otherwise. And so doing, different things over the years. But what was really interesting is focusing a lot on the feelings that come up on a daily basis, and focusing a lot on the triggers that are presented to you in a moment-to-moment basis during the day. So you come across a random person and they say something and you're triggered. And so what I've sort of really focused on in the last couple of years is just working through those feelings that come up and trying to work out how it relates to me. And the one thing that was really common was this lack mindset, this I'm not good enough, or not worthy, I think was probably what both Ben and I realized when everything was kind of funneling together towards this point of getting this house, was that we both didn't think we were worthy to actually live in a place that is like this. And we were both sitting there going, how could we not be? We work our rings off all of the time. We're put in 150% effort in everything that we do. How could we not be worthy to live in a place like this, right? But but yeah, it's just interesting. So the process for me was even realizing in the beginning that there was another option, because I literally was stuck on this whole thing of I can't move from this place. I have to renovate this place because it has to happen this way. And then I put my neck out. And then I was in a deliberation, do I visit Sammy and have my neck put back, right? Or do I visit Rob, this other guy that's this random that's walked into my meditation group that I've never met before? And because of my process, whenever something happens with me, I always leave it to spirit to show me or guide me where I need to go. And no offense, Sammy, but cracking really scares me. And I know it's a belief, because I know exactly where it came from. It was from my training in massage many years ago. And so it was like, oh, the better feeling is to go with this person I don't really know, which is terrible to think that that's what I did. But I went there, and within this session that I had with Rob, which was no cracky and literally didn't really feel like he was doing anything, because I'm normally into get a massage, be pummeled, and have everything straightened out in your neck that way.
Yep.
The cracky is too scary because it's a bit too out of the blue and a bit, that's just me. And then, so with Rob, it's I don't know what he does. He doesn't really, it's just gentle, and it's telling your body what it needs so that it can self-correct. So anyway, but within that session, I'm asking the question over and over, why my neck? What is it with the neck that is the issue? Why am I? And it was like, what am I not seeing? Where am I rigid in my thinking in my life? And you know what came out? It was my house. And as soon as I sat there and went, oh my God, my house, I'm rigid in my thinking with my house. Okay. What is the rigid thinking? I thought I was going nuts. But anyway, the rigid thinking was that it had to happen a particular way. I had to renovate it, and I had to do it that way, and that was going to capitalize on and blah-de-blah, right? Anyway, as soon as I let all that go, it felt so much better. And I walked home and I said to Ben, we have to move. And he goes to me, finally? And I went, what? Why didn't you tell me? He goes, I thought I had been. That's how unrigid in my thinking I was. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're right. You gotcha. You're right.
All right. Now, if you lose me, I'm going to have to dial you up on my computer. Can you believe this?
Oh, I can.
So anyway, yeah, I'm running out of battery.
Oh, okay. So what was like the time frame of?
So the time frame from that realization, it took 13 months, and now I'm actually sitting in the house that we manifested.
And so
so the process was just sitting down and saying, well, what are the things that we actually really need? What are the things that would make us feel overjoyed? And there were really only three kind of main points, and that was winter sun. They were like your non-negotiables. We needed to be in the sunshine in winter and feel a winter in Queensland, because for 15 years we've lived here in freezing in winter because we lived in a gully. And everyone else is saying, oh, it's so hot, we've been to the beach, and we're all sitting there in our tracky dacks freezing, right? So winter sun, a swimming pool, and a place that had a studio that I could work out of. And Ben must have secretly said, I need a man cave. And
I could understand your family. Yep.
You can, yeah. With the three girls, he needs an escape. And, just a couple of other kind of little things. And honestly, it's 13 months later. It was in the November of last year, I actually came and saw this house. And I went home and I said to Ben, I've found our house. He even showed me the text message when we bought it. He goes, you'd already seen it and you'd said we were going to have it. And I'd said to him, it's too expensive, we can't afford it. Like, there's just no way we can afford this house. It's just, I don't know, it's, you know, but it's perfect, I said. And then it literally came down to, on a daily basis, when I woke up in the morning, acknowledging this feeling of unworthiness. And instead of taking that into my day, I brought worthiness into my day. And somehow, just that simple act, it's like all the pieces kind of started falling in together. And so really just focusing on that worthiness. We even had a couple of conversations, not really meaning to, in the car.
Where the best conversations are in the car.
Where we were like, what is it that's the thing, you know? And he and I both said, we've just got this unbearable feeling that we're not worthy to actually have this house. You know, when it came right down to the crunch, we were the only people at the auction. We were the only people that put in any offer, and we're still sitting there going, no, it's, you know, there's no way that they're going to be able to take what we're offering. And we persevered with it, and we just kept working on that feeling of, no, you know what, we've worked hard and we deserve this. Just get out of it here, that unworthiness, you know. And the Ho'oponopono was really good. Have you been practicing the Ho'oponopono? I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I really love that. That's been a really simple way to keep your mind present. And I really think that's another thing that has been a really big focus in the last 12 months, is keeping the mind present, because every opportunity that we're looking for is in that present moment. And we keep bloody missing it, you know, because I'm thinking about my shopping list, or I've got the kids screaming at me, and I'm thinking, I'm so frustrated because you're annoying me, you know. I've told you, I don't want to tell you 50 more times. Whatever it is, there's always some sort of a distraction that kind of comes and keeps you away from being present. So it's been really good to just utilize all of my training, all of the stuff that I talk about with people every day, and just really, really hone in and focus. And it's been really good. And even like, I had an attack of the guilts. Probably, what are we now? Are we week 6 into lockdown? We are now.
I don't know. Lockdown's been the least of my worries, so I'm being really focusing on that.
Well, I had about 2 weeks in, I had an attack of the guilt, because I'm like, you know what? I think I manifested this, because, and I don't know whether you kind of feel like you've manifested this a bit too, or whether it's just me, but you know, there was times sort of in the last 6 months where I've just been like, I just need life to slow down. I just need things to sort of just come to a bit of a slow point and a halt, because everything's just so fast and so quick that I can't really catch my breath and really focus in on this keeping presence business, you know. And so what I found really interesting was acknowledging that there was a bit of guilt there, that I'd actually not created the coronavirus, but we as spiritual sharers have been talking about this big change is coming. Like, you can feel it. The energy's shifting. There's something coming, right?
Yeah.
And I was not the only one that was feeling it. And there was like a lot of my the people that crossed my path were saying the same kinds of things. You know, you can feel the energy changing, things are different. And I don't think that this was exactly what we had in mind. I don't really know what it was we had in mind, but I definitely think that on a some sort of an energetic level, we've kind of all manifested this stopping, you know. Let's change stuff, let's rewrite, and let's create something new. So it's been an interesting ride, and now we're in this amazing house, and my studio is a great shell. It's got to have a little bit of work, but it's just amazing, you know, to be here. So
look forward to a session when things get back to normal.
Exactly. Everything's on Zoom at the moment. did past life regressions today on Zoom. That was
that's cool.
That was me.
So what are some more? Did you go back? Was there an original moment where the unworthiness had come up for you in this life or previous lives or anything like that? Like, what are some more was that basically a story, or I'm trying to get some practical tips for the guys.
Practical tips, honestly, it's gotten to the point for me now where it is literally about acknowledging an emotion, letting yourself feel it, and not just for 5 seconds, right? Sit in it. Give yourself 30 seconds, right? Maybe a minute. Any longer than that, you don't need to do that. But really feel it. Let the tears flow. Feel where it is in your body and acknowledge. So for me, it was a lot of heart in the heart space, a lot in the throat. And there were tears some days, and other days there was anger that went with it. And I didn't really feel like I even needed to dive into past life with it, or dive into anything from my childhood. It was literally just about in the present moment acknowledging that there is a feeling that's being brought to my attention. It's in a particular part of my body, and I'm just going to feel it for a minute. I'm going to acknowledge it's there, and then I'm going to make a decision to either carry that feeling with me into my next moment, or I'm going to say, okay, I've felt it. This is enough. And now I'm going to move on to something else. So I used that decision making to move on, and then I'd look to my present moment wherever I was and tried to find something that would lift that feeling. So for me, nature does that straight away. So looking at a beautiful tree or a plant, or
so
just
that'd be a similar feeling to you manifesting a house. Is that kind of along the same lines as what you're saying there?
Yeah, so with the manifesting the house thing, it was literally just about being present and noticing that there were opportunities that were put in front of us, and that if I wasn't present, I wouldn't have seen those opportunities. And feeling for the good feeling. You know how, and I know you've got it, you know how you kind of come up to a situation. It could be anything. It could be making a decision about buying a book. Something simple, right?
Yeah.
You come to the shop and you walk in, and there's 2 books there, and one of your friends said, oh, you should read The Celestine Prophecy, and then you've gone in there wanting to see, I don't know, think of a book, Sam. Something. Wayne Dyer. All right. So you've gone in there thinking, I'm going to buy Wayne Dyer, and your friend said, no, you need to go and buy The Celestine Prophecy. And then you're standing there in front of both books, right? Now, when you're standing there, one of those books is going to actually feel good, and the other one will just be a ho-hum kind of feeling. It'll be like, meh, you know? Now, why do we often, as human beings, go, well, you know, Sammy said I should buy The Celestine Prophecy, so I'll do that.
Right? That doesn't sound like me. Ask Catherine. I don't do what I'm told.
You do the opposite?
Pretty much.
Well, I tended to be the person that would do, well, you know, if someone said it, the
in other
universe
areas,
is telling me I should probably buy that book, you know? And then I'd get it home and I'd read it, and it was just meh, you know? It was something that it was, yeah, that's okay, but I don't really need to read that, you know? Whereas if I just listened to the gut feeling, I already knew I needed to buy the Wayne Dyer book, you know? But you're choosing to ignore this inner awareness, and then you're sort of reading a book that you don't really like. And then when you translate that to your life, and I mean that good feeling, bad feeling thing for me, you know the story, I tell it in my Reiki courses. When I was 18 and I was working in a shop in Lygon Street for a boss who probably didn't really like his work, what he was doing, and he really didn't make working for him easy. And I was there for about 1.5 years, and I would go home and I'd be pretty much in tears most nights, of just overwhelmed from him dumping his energy all over me, and me not really knowing a way to protect myself and be able to let his stuff go. I'd be taking it on. And it got to a day where I started to feel actually physically sick, like vomity sick, and got what felt like some sort of flu-y symptoms, you know, when you get the 24-hour vomity bug. And I've said to him, I have to go home. I don't feel well. And I had to call in someone to replace me, and they came. And then I'm walking out to my car. And about halfway to the car, I started to feel better. And then when I got to the car, I was brand new, perfect, nothing wrong with me. And I'm then standing at the car going, well, all right, I'm feeling good now. I better go back to work. And I'm walking back towards work, and I started to feel sick again. And then it was so obvious, this feeling of feeling sick walking towards work and feeling better walking towards my car, that I got to a point on the concrete where I could put one foot one way and feel sick, and put one foot the other way and feel completely fine. And so then I've sat there and asked myself, well, what is this telling me? I need to not be working at this place. I need to actually go get in my car, and I need to start my own business, you know? And because I'd been thinking about doing that, but hadn't actioned it, I pretty much got a push. And so my body's physiology got involved and was trying to speak as loud as it could, because I wasn't listening to the whispers. So those are the things that I really feel like have helped me along my journey, especially in the last 13 months. And that has been to really listen to that feeling. It's subtle in the beginning, but you've got this little thing, it's in your gut. It's like right down probably about where your sacral is. In martial arts, we call it your 1 point. And you can feel it there, this inner knowing. It's like, yeah, I need to move in this direction. That feels good. And then you'll retract back from something that doesn't feel right. Now your brain gets in the way, unfortunately. And you and I don't know why, but sometimes your brain overrides the gut, and then you usually regret. That's what happens to me. It's usually
I'm nodding.
You are, yeah. Usually for me, it's like, geez, I did it again. I ignored my awareness. And I grew up, my dad's a coach, a business coach, and he's very good at what he does. And one of his sayings is, ignore your awareness at your peril. And so you can hear his words ringing in your ears when you've done it, when you haven't listened to that little gut feeling and actioned that gut feeling. Because sometimes that gut feeling can be the scariest thing that you're going to do. So for me, that situation where I was standing on the pavement and had to make a decision, do I go back to my $350 a week Lygon Street cafe job, or do I take a punt on the 2 massage clients I have that I was earning $240 extra in the week with, and think I only really need one more client and I'm covering my wage, you know? So I was standing there and making that decision, and it was scary, thinking I'm going to work for myself and go away from having a regular paycheck. But it was the right thing to do in that moment, and I felt that I needed to follow that gut instinct. Scariest conversation to ring Ben and say, babe, I've just quit. And he goes, good on you. You needed to get out of there. And I went, I've been so scared to tell you, and you're all cool with it, you know? And then it was definitely the right thing. When you keep following that inner gut awareness, it will lead you exactly where you need to go. And I've definitely had a fun path getting where I am now.
Yeah.
Living in my dream home.
Yeah.
Following that gut that's telling me yes to this and no to that. And then the times where I accidentally listen to my brain instead of my gut, and don't do what I should have done, I go, I can hear you, Dad. I did ignore my awareness, and I am in my peril at the moment, but I'll be right. I'll dust off and we'll start again tomorrow. Because we're human. This is like a moment to moment thing, and we've got an opportunity right now to start something different. And even now.
Yeah, I feel like all these conversations I've been having on this program with Kyla as well.
Oh, really?
I feel like I'm getting a lot of messages. There's a
Are you?
couple of yeah, I think so. Yeah, getting a little nudge. I'll come back to the whispers. I'd like to talk about the whispers. There's just a couple of comments that I just want to acknowledge first. So
Yeah, beautiful.
Tracy's good on the Tracy works in office. She's telling me to listen to my gut, and I actually that's interesting because what I my head works a lot, and it's and I've been busy for the last 18 months or something. So yes, I'm part of the manifestation of having lockdown as well. But that intuition is it's coming back, but it's a little bit of a struggle. What I notice is when I don't like something, or I know when I'm feeling unworthy or something's triggered me, it sits around the diaphragm.
Yeah.
And then that's my reference point. Whereas like I've been listening to Gabby Bernstein and Wayne Dyer again and getting my mojo back a bit more. I hadn't referenced the lower point as the good feeling. So that's cool. I got that. I was like, yeah, okay, I got that. I can do that next time. Because I was going with more what feels bad.
With it.
With what feels bad to choose which one's good. And it never really works out.
Well, it's good. You have to, because I think the bad stuff in our life is so in your face, and we're like drug addicts when it comes to bad stuff. Yeah.
If you want it to be, it's in your face.
Well, but that's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
we're geared to notice the bad stuff.
Yeah,
we're not geared to notice the good stuff. And I mean, this is something I say to my clients after they leave is, put in your diary a month from now that you're going to check in on yourself and actually say, what has changed since that session with Nat? Because what happens is life's good.
Yeah.
And so we don't notice when life's good. We only notice when something's not good.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it'd be quite interesting to see everyone's like I'm definitely setting some new intentions and pivoting with what I want to do, but it'd be interesting to see how quickly things go back to normal.
Yes.
Like all these businesses are using Zoom and working from home and doing all these things. It must be saving them a fortune of money. But then I wonder how quickly we all go back to the same thing. Like when we're in Blackburn, all the peak hour trains, it's only about, with express trains, it's very quick to the city and it's usually packed, those trains. And there was no one on the trains, like maybe 3 people a carriage, which is like insane.
That would have been weird.
It is weird. And it was weird. But then like Catherine's dad working from home, like he would be, he'd be on that train, packed in, paying for it, the time factor, the time to walk to the office, the time to sit down at the office, and all he has to do is have a shower and then he's like bang at his desk. Like it's completely different. Like it's interesting to see what goes back to normal and what stays the same. It'd be really interesting. Tracy also said before that, I've forgotten the reference point now. I was about how long you hang on to the feelings. And she said she hung on to hers for about 14 hours, got through it, and so far the outcome has improved. Then had a massage today that helped release the tension.
Good.
She was a bit wound up. We all were a bit on Tuesday afternoon. And Shane would like to know a little bit more about past lives, which we'll get to. But I've found with the busyness, and I found myself saying it as well when I'm listening. I think I'm listening to Super Attracted by, because we've had a bit of time in the car, I'm listening to Super Attracted by Gabby Bernstein for like the 3rd time, which is like unheard of. I don't listen to books twice. I put them on 1.5 times speed and I finish them and I'm done. And I'm like, yeah, I finished a book. And then nothing changes. My head has all this info, but there's no wisdom of actually applying it, I feel.
And that's where I think we've got to use the opportunity at the moment to just slow down, just really slow it down and just do whatever the next thing is in front of you and try not to fill your day.
It's like that's like Frozen 2. Just choose the next best thing, the next best step, or whatever the song is. Because we heard that.
Is it really?
When Jacko.
See, my kids are a little bit bigger now, and I actually can't wait to see that movie. I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah,
I cried in the first one.
They brought it forward onto Disney, so you don't have to buy it. You can just get it.
Oh, cool!
Plus, just FYI. And there's another one that we've referenced on other chats that you may not have heard of, and we posted it in this group. Inner Workings. It's a short film, goes for 5 or 6 minutes, and literally the play off between the head and the heart, and goes cartoon. Perfect. And I don't want to ruin it. I'll send you the link after this.
Yes, please.
and it is on the Disney Plus stuff. It was a short film before Moana when we went to the movies, and
Cool.
it's awesome. 5 or 6 minutes, but it is gold.
How
Absolute
awesome
gold.
is it that this stuff is being played to
Yeah,
kids
yeah,
and their
for
parents?
adults.
Do you know, like
it's so much easier. 5-minute film when I get it. I'm like, yep, cool. And I've watched it
it's
like
so
10
good.
times too. But I found the busyness. I was busy and I made myself busy and probably did wear it like a badge of honor, even though I usually question people when they do say that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll be right. I'm busy. Like this is all the thing. And then had a chat with another guest who was on, Ali, one day over coffee, and everything I was talking about, there was no vibe, there was no spark, there's nothing. I was like, that was really interesting. So we just happened to manifest school sores, mold, miscarriages, standing up for myself with my dad, and manifested a whole heap of fun stuff before I started listening.
You had to go and do that
because I stopped fucking listening to the whisper.
Yeah. And it's because we try and I really think it's like that self-protective mechanism that happens because feeling it is like it's putting your body in danger, even though there's no real perceived danger. When you're going to feel something that it's been put in a sense of feeling like it's in danger in a previous part of your life, it doesn't want to take you back there. It wants to save you from it. So it keeps you busy so that you stop looking at it.
Is it just that, or is it just that the brain's used to what the routine and likes that and knows what's going to happen? If you stay in that bubble, it knows what's going to happen, good, bad, or indifferent. It can still be mediocre to bad, and you won't do anything until it gets really, really bad.
For me,
you go, yeah, no, just question.
No, for me personally, and I can't speak for you, and that's where we are all different. For me personally, I notice that I get busy and like you go to the chip packets, or you eat food, or you just make your life, fill it with stuff to do. And it's always when I know that just under the surface there's something bubbling, and I'll just push it away and push it away and push it away, or have done previously. And then instead of it being a whisper, it's then screaming at you. And that's where meditation has been my saving grace, which is why I like to teach it, and guided for me works because I do have a busy mind. And if I'm asked to sit there quietly, or in the past, if I was asked to sit there quietly, I would fill it with all my stuff, So if I've got someone's voice to listen to and I'm just listening and following along, I find that I can get lost in that and find my own quiet. And so meditation's been a great way for me to, when I know there's something bubbling, just force yourself to sit there. Just sit there, just get on that bloody floor and just do it.
I forget who said it, but they explain meditation like, well, you need to do it twice a day for 20 minutes.
Yeah, stop it. Like, that's not real.
No, but like, you've got to do it twice a day for 20 minutes, and then if you're busy, I totally understand that, but then you need to do an hour in the morning and the afternoon and the evening, like just to highlight the mind chatter going on. I was like, oh, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, but realistically, like, who is going to sit there for that long?
Ask you, like, you've got 2 kids, you've got dog, you've got new house, you've just moved, you've got a husband. He's a great guy, except that he goes for the Hawks. Literally that 30 seconds or minute. So like.
So in the morning,
the shit goes down on the way to school before the big C.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like how do you in that moment, like,
breathe?
And then wait till you drop them off, and then do your quick minute.
I have been known to be that crazy mother that loses her shit in the car. All right, that is just normal. We're all normal. All right.
Aren't they our biggest triggers, kids?
Oh God, yeah. Well, they're these beautiful angels that are packaged perfectly to push every single one of our triggers so that we can wake up. That's why they're here.
Mhm.
And I'm so grateful for knowing that, because as soon as my trigger's been pressed and you have your little outburst, I'm able to then apologize, pull myself together, and then we talk about it. Because it can't be the way it used to be in the olden days, where you get a slap across the cheek and then never talk about what happened. I think that we're doing sort of a generation of change, and it is about realizing that the triggers that the kids press they're special for us. So for me, once I have dropped the kids off, I'll take a moment in the car, because then I'm supposed to get ready to go to work. So you can't do that when you're triggered. So it is just, again, about feeling it. I might ask myself a question of, when have I felt this feeling before? And often it'll be mum pops in. And particularly, I think, in a mothering kind of trigger, where it's been the kids that have triggered you, we know what to do in a parenting situation based on what we've seen. And so I will hear my mum's voice come out of my mouth lots of times, and then I'll sit back later when I'm reflecting going, oh, that was not what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I do. More my dad, but yeah.
Well, yeah, dad, yeah. And then you're sitting there going, wow, okay. So it is then just about me forgiving mum, and that moment where however that trigger was created. And you don't even have to be that specific. It literally, for me, it's just about acknowledging a person that's coming up in that trigger, and then forgiving them and telling them that I love them and I'm appreciative of the lesson that I've learned, and that I'm actually grateful for acknowledging that I have the opportunity to change something here. I don't have to do what was done to me. I can do something differently. Now, the other thing is, I'm acutely aware that I'm going to stuff my kids up no matter what I do. All right, because they will find something when they're my age, and they'll be doing the same thing, forgiving me. It
was actually
hopefully
quite interesting. A person very close to me, I won't go into specifics, but then I've heard one side of a memory, and then recently I got told the other side of that same memory, and I was like, it's like what's that other movie about with all the emotions?
Oh, I love that one. Inside Out.
Inside Out. And it's pretty old, so most people will have seen it and you can watch it. But the memory that she's got of being really happy was actually from something wasn't so great. And it was literally like that moment towards the end of the film. I went, oh, wow. And there was like the same epiphany. I was like, yeah, Jacko's going to have his own shit to sort out. And yeah.
It doesn't matter how perfect we try and be.
Yeah.
All right. They're going to have something that we've done wrong, and we're going to pay for it a million times. So I'm acutely aware of that. But I think that is the process of evolution in a way for us as human beings, is, at some point in the future, that thing that they've learned is going to help them in some way. And I know for me, what I've learned in checking in on the triggers and checking in on what's happened, especially with parenting, I've learned a lot about myself every time I have to sit with it, work out whether it is something that I want to do or whether I could do something different. And a lot of it now has been really focusing on, deal with the trigger and then talk about it when everyone's calm, because nothing good ever comes with dealing with something when everyone's triggered, because it's just like, it's like 2-year-olds chucking tantrums, and we're adults. We're supposed to be good role models, So even using that language with the kids and saying, I'm triggered right now, there ain't no point talking to me, let's do it later once we're all calmed down. And so, yeah, in those moments, it's been interesting. But the process for me is I sit in the car, I acknowledge that there is a feeling, and particularly with parenting, it's always frustration that comes up, and sometimes anger. It's usually mum that pops in, and it's usually just because I'm supposed to recognize, I believe, that I created this frustration for my mother once.
Yeah.
You know, and being able to relate to her and go, oh, sorry, mum.
Nice.
But you know, and though they're little things, and they seem insignificant, but on a personal growth level, those tiny little things that you string together will end up with a big result later. And I know for me, on a personal level, I'm a lot calmer. I'm a lot less angry. I find it easier now to find joy in life. And it has just been about just working on whatever is being presented to me in that present moment and trying to make the best out of it, follow the good gut feeling, let the bad gut feeling go, and really try and own my own shit. And sometimes that's hard.
Yeah, because we're perfect, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Shane's question still there. Do you want to talk?
Yeah.
I'd love to know more about past life regressions. And then I don't know, we've been going for, well, we did start a little bit late. So
we're going over, are we? We could probably chat
there's
for
no,
hours.
there's no, I'm sure we could. There's no real time thing, but I'm just conscious that other people
want to go. All
sleep.
good.
So if you want to answer that question, then I don't know if you want to do some, I don't know what you're feeling, what you would like to maybe finish with, whether it's a meditation or a card, or
we might do a card.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe do
that's
a card.
That's what I was feeling. I felt that in my sacral, that one. Yeah.
You felt that one? That feels good?
I was all over that. I just wanted to see if we're on the same page.
We are. All right. So past life regression. How do I want to say this? I'm not sure that past life regression is the correct terminology anymore. I think it's other life would be probably more accurate.
Because everything's all happening at the same time? Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yeah. Because for me, it feels like we live in a multiverse, and everything that has ever happened has all happened now. And we're just navigating our way through options based on the choices that we choose. And those options are endless, you know, in different realities. And so we are having at the same time many different experiences. And I feel like in order to have clarity on something that's happening in your life now, looking at what is commonly known as a past life can help you sort out some of your things in this life. And when I regress people, it can be anything, you know, that comes up, and there is nothing that's off limits as far as what is possible for people to be dropping into. But the common thread with dropping into these different scenarios is that the main thing is there's always a feeling. There's always a correlation with something that's happening to you currently in your present life. And there's something that was missing that you didn't get that you did need. And being able to acknowledge by watching what you're being shown or feeling it, because there are people that can't see and they only feel. And just being in it for a moment and acknowledging that it's there is healing for people.
Yes.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter if you believe in past lives or not. If that's just not in your belief system, that is absolutely okay. But if you did choose to give it a go, and I definitely recommend that if you're sitting there in your gut saying, I need to give this a try, that you should trust that. And even if your belief system is that you don't believe in past lives, you don't believe in reincarnation and all the rest of it, that's absolutely fine too. But what does happen is if you let yourself go down that road, then you will see visions, have feelings that you can't explain but feel real. And from that journey, there will be a transformation of you, and you come out different in a good way.
Yep.
And for me, I was introduced to past life regression from my Reiki teacher, and my first regression session was extremely full on. And I'd never experienced that level of rage before in my life. But I was dropped into a scene where I was in a room with a window and no doors. And it wasn't scared, it wasn't fear, it wasn't sadness. It was, I'm going to punch something. I'm so angry that my whole body was shaking on the table. And then you've got this conscious awareness of, hang on a second, I'm Nat Grant that has 2 kids and a husband, and I've never been in this room before in my life. Why am I feeling so angry? But so angry that while I'm having this thought, my whole body's shaking, you know? So there's something in it. And I'm from that day on, I was completely sold on it. So then I had to learn how to do it. And the profound change in my life from working through the process that we do with past life regression, I completely changed. My level of anger just completely diminished, and I became a much calmer person. And so that anger for me wasn't anything that anyone ever did to me in this life, because I've lived a really lovely life. It was something that I've carried through from one of my alternate lives. And yeah, it's a pretty full-on experience, and it's awesome. Really awesome. So yeah, that's something that now I do and love it. I love facilitating past life regression for people because of what can change. Yeah. You've had one, haven't you? We've done one.
Yeah.
We've done a few.
I was giving you like thumbs up and like saying you should do it. Yeah. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Because it's just so interesting. And then the more you do, so when I was learning, I had my study buddy, and we did lots of regressions. And the more you go into it, the weirder your past lives become.
Cool.
Yeah, which is cool. But you got to sort through the stuff that's relevant to you in your life now. So and spirit always guides you. Yeah, which is cool.
Nice. Yeah. That's all I've got. I'm ready for a card. I'm excited for a card.
Let's do it. All right. So
don't use the decks that are holding up your phone to keep the interview going.
No, I got that there. Left or right hand? Pick a hand.
Left. Well, your left or my left?
I don't know.
Hey.
You tell me. You put a hand up and I'll pick that card.
Yep.
All right. We're going with the wisdom of the golden path.
Oh, the golden path.
Oh, yeah. I really like these cards at the moment. I seem to grab the same decks all the time.
You're welcome.
So good. All right. So we're pulling a card out for all who are present for the best and highest good. Creativity. All right, let's check this out. It's time to be creative, Sam. I know that's exactly what I'm getting at the moment. It's to start with some creativity. 23. All right. All children are artists. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up. That's Picasso. The artist within you wants to emerge, and you will soon feel a strong urge to express yourself creatively. Your inner artist will lead you to explore new and exciting projects and ideas. Expressing yourself creatively will also help balance your emotions and improve your general well-being. This is a time to be authentic a time to discover the real you and to connect to the little child within you. You may discover that there is so more to life, so much more to life than you were previously conditioned to believe. Honoring your feelings and emotions and allowing your imagination to journey through the infinite space. That is at the heart of the creativity. Try to express all that you feel without reservation, censorship, or judgment. You are doing this for you and no one else. Amazing ideas and inspirations will filter through you into your mind and heart. Ideas and impulses that stem from your core essence and soul. It is possible for you to manifest what your heart has long desired. Definitely works, Sammy. Okay, try it. You are restricted only by what you think is possible. You will develop greater trust in yourself and have confidence in your own thoughts and feelings. This will in turn make you more receptive to the feelings of others also. Allow your imagination to travel to the far reaches of the universe, but at the same time, keep your feet on the ground and you'll feel your connection to the earth. Know that you have a solid foundation to rely on. Your Mother Earth will always support you. You've built the strong foundations.
I was like, was that card just for me, or was it for anyone else?
Well, it's totally relevant for me too. You know, I feel like a lot of us right now have built, in the last 2 years, we've all built those strong foundations. You know, we've created connections, we've built our tribes, we've got that inner trust in ourselves, and we're really, connecting to those good feelings. We're starting to realize they're there. Like, they're actually putting it on Disney movies now. Do you know, like, it's something that the collective is picking up on. Actually, I listened to an Alicia Keys song this week where she's talking about those micro moments in your life where you come across people that are important, that we've in the past nudged aside as insignificant, but they're actually significant, and we need to slow down to really connect in those situations. So it's possible. All right, there's an affirmation. I connect with my inner artist, the inner child that holds my true essence. Through my heart and imagination, I channel infinite creativity. I am one with the universal heart of creation. And that, for me, is completely where we're at. Like, anything is possible from this moment. We've just got to get out of our own way. Stop trying so hard. You know, we're all here to do something that is really important and that only we can do. And I really feel like a lot of the time we're sabotaging ourselves, and we've just got to connect into that good feeling. So whether that be through meditation, gratitude, or just,
I don't know if are you talking to me, or are you talking
being present? Everyone. I'm talking to myself. You kidding? This is me. I'm talking to me.
Yeah.
Well, which is really like, don't you think that's interesting though, that it is relevant to both you and I? And then whoever else is tuned in tonight, hi, and thank you for joining us. And whoever else listens to it beyond this, this message is, it's always for us first, and everybody else.
Well, I think there's 5 people watching according to YouTube, and I'd imagine one of them's Kat, and then
hi Kat.
One's Shane, and then the other one's obviously Tracy. So knowing those 3 pretty well, I'd be like, yeah, that was for everyone.
Yeah. So definitely, you know, that we've got to heal in us for the collective. And that's our job. And
Yeah.
we've got to do what feels congruently right for us, not for what's right for everybody else. Got to
Mhm.
work on do what's right for you. I'll do what's right for me. And then the rest will
It
just
all
take
works
care
out.
of itself.
It's an atom. It'll balance itself out
Yeah,
like an atom. That's awesome, Nat.
absolutely. This
Uh,
has been fun. Thank you.
so you're doing Zoom meditations every
Yes.
Thursday night.
Yes.
Maybe some Facebook Lives after our chat off air.
I'm going to have to give that a try.
Figure that
I've
out.
never
It's
done
great.
them.
It's great for the sound bowls and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might ring Helga and see if he wants to do it that way, because that
Yeah.
will work.
Well, I still don't. I don't know if you need some more tech on that. But you're in the Facebook group, so guys, send
Yeah.
Nat a friend request or just
Yep.
see go to her personal profile and just see her other
Yeah.
pages. They're awesome. She has
Send me a message.
before she moved into her beautiful place, she's been quite consistent with uploading. Well, you're back on it now. You're uploading the meditations that come from your Thursday sessions.
Yes,
they're
I am.
fantastic. I think I'm maybe only one or two I haven't listened to. I'm still pretty much up to date with those, just FYI.
That's amazing, because there's like 180 there.
Well,
That's
like since I started, like since I did Reiki level 1, I think I'm up to date. Besides like one or two of them at the moment. Or since I haven't been to a Thursday night session in person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I sort of kept on top of it. But they're awesome. Are you still doing the other podcasts or not as much?
No, I haven't. I have got them sitting on the cutting room floor, and I just haven't got time.
Yeah,
I would love to, but it's just
Well, there's heaps of stuff Nat does. Nat does Reiki courses and all sorts of things. She's
tell him to give me a call. I'm always happy for a chat.
Yep. We got that.
Sorry, Sammy.
No, don't be sorry.
Can't shut me up.
Yeah, it was good. I don't have to think too much. I came back. I had a couple of questions in there. I was sweet. I got plenty out of it. I felt like I got a one-on-one session.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So hit Nat up. Nat's on the Sunshine Coast as well, for those that are on the sunny coast. Thanks for coming along, Nat. Great to chat with you.
Thank you for having me.
I'll end the live stream. Well, I think we're going to do something similar with, who knows what Kyla will think of in her car trip, but some more card reading and focusing on our own intuition. It's just funny because we kind of talked about that already, because everyone's in tune with what we were talking about. So, well, otherwise, if something changes, which it may well do with Kyla and I, but we'll see you Friday night from 8:30. Thanks, guys.